Hello and welcome to the Sporting Tribune today here on KIRN 670 AM in Southern California, the Bet in Las Vegas, and the Hawaii Sports Radio Network. We are here later on a Wednesday night if you're listening on our live stream, but we are also the next day. You can watch us on X if you want. You can tune in on all audio platforms. But I got my guy, John Browner, with me because, John, the NBA draft is now finally complete. We have been talking about the Clippers draft pick, John, for probably,
since I got here.
Months, maybe 3 months, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Since you got here, about what they should do. This is their guy. This isn't their guy. Should they trade it? Should they get a veteran? And all of this talk was finally put to rest. The talk isn't put to rest, but the result was put to rest. The Clippers have selected Keaton Wagler. I have been at Intuit Dome the past 2 days. He just did his intro press conference. We heard from Lawrence Frank. The decision-making that went into this, John. I have had plenty to say about it on social media. I want to hear what you have to say. I've been waiting for this, John, for what you have to say about everything that happened with the Clippers draft pick.
I thought Lawrence Frank exposed their practices, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. If you're Lawrence Frank, there are certain things that you can say and you should say. I came up with this as I was doing my other show at the John Browner podcast. As a general manager, you don't have to get everything right, but there are some things you cannot get wrong. This is something he cannot get wrong. And in their process of explaining to the public why they chose Keaton Wagler, which I have no problem with him as a player. I just like other players more than I like him. He's a fine player. He has potential. And I think people misunderstand my like for someone else as dislike for him. In their process of explaining to you in workouts who he was going against, and then telling people also they took him because he was a big guard. Well, why'd you have a big guard playing against a small point guard and in one-on-ones? That didn't make any sense to me. And then they say, oh, he wants to win. Everybody wants to win. Like, if you can't find enough positive things to say about your guy that aren't cookie cutter, cookie sheet, oh, he's a fighter. Oh, he likes to win. They didn't explain one time how Keaton Wagler's play works into the philosophy of what Tyronn Lue wants to do and how they project him going forward. I didn't see any of that conversation in depth at all. And so this idea that because he had a good workout, this catapulted him over somebody else, I just didn't like the way Lawrence Frank explained the habits and the practices that went behind the selection, which tells me that they didn't really do much. They liked him personally, and so they went with him because all these players are so good. The draft is so good. There's so many good players. They went with the guy who they felt the most connected to, and I thought that was a miss.
Yeah, they mentioned a lot. Now, we had the opportunity to talk to Jeff Van Gundy beforehand. This is before the pick, so we couldn't talk about it. Obviously, they already made their decision, but
right.
All of us reporters, John, were sitting there, and he was like, we want someone with high character, like a good basketball IQ, and, he's a hard worker and a guy that can, build into his frame. And, I'm looking around at the other reporters, and we're looking at each other, we're like, it's going to be Keaton Wagler, man. You just described Keaton Wagler to a T. And, John, the tweet that went viral for me out of the ones that I've posted, all the billions that I posted, was Lawrence Frank detailed the entire workout process and like you said, it may not have been just the one workout, but he laid out the one-on-one with Kingston Flemings, the biomechanics test, the processing test, the film session with Tyronn Lue and Jeff Van Gundy that he went through. So he laid out, and everybody was like, oh, wow, this is awesome. This is such a great thing to hear. I wanted to know about the ins and outs of a workout. And you don't seem enthused, John, about all that.
Because I know they schedule these workouts in some sense to make their guy who they scheduled a workout to make sure that their selection will be their selection. They had him up against Keaton Fleming, not because they were going to take him, because they wanted to make sure that their selection was the guy who they wanted. They wanted to feel good about their choice, so they brought in somebody in the workout that they knew he would play well against. Now, there are a bunch of guys in the lottery that you couldn't have brought in Axelberg, the kid who ended up going to Golden State, just for a workout. You couldn't bring guys in to specifically go, okay, let's challenge him against bigger, stronger guys and see how he does. Because the question is his speed. He doesn't have high-level speed.
The athleticism is the knock, right?
Right. And so why not bring in somebody who going to grind on him in a workout, who, by the way, you're not going to take. But this kid coming in here to work out at 5, he thinks if I do good enough, they might take me. So I'm going to play my ass off against this guy. And so now you get the best out of this guy in the workout. But instead, you put him against a 6-foot guy who might be 190 pounds. So them may say, oh, we put him through all these tests and we put him in a film room. The kid's been probably watching film for 5 years. Basketball's not that hard if you watch it. If you played for a coach like he did at Illinois, they watch film. Mm-hmm. So therefore, that wasn't a shock to me. See, I've been around this. I've been behind the curtain. I've been in a lot of locker rooms. I've been in a lot of film sessions. I've been to a lot of workouts. That's how I know. I'm telling you, this is how I know they had Keaton Fleming in there, because they wanted to make sure that we want him to look good in front of all the people who we want this pick to be okayed by. And if we put him in there against another top guy, he's going to look good and we're going to look good because this is the pick we're taking to him. And so I wasn't blown away. I wasn't blown away by that at all. I thought that was too much information.
So when you look at a guy like Keaton Wagler, John, like what turns you off about Keaton Wagler's game? Because we can now put to bed that they didn't take like Darius Acuff, the best player available. Right. They took the guy that fits next to Darius Garland the best. That's just, and I tried to warn everyone on this panel, like that's probably what they're going to do because they love Darius. But now that we have that, what turns you off about Keaton Wagler as opposed to a Michael Brown Jr. or a Darius Acuff?
At the 5th pick, that athleticism needs to be there. Because even in college, these guys are slower and they're not as strong. So now you're going against faster and stronger guys night after night after night. And to get as good as he is, to his credit, the speed that he plays at, he's had to play at that speed for a long time. So it's kind of like a Jalen Brunson situation where, yes, Jalen Brunson's not tall. He not fast. He don't jump high, but he know I had to get buckets because he's been that size his entire life. I don't feel that. I don't feel that from Wagner, and not at all. To me, I felt like he played for a great college coach on a very mature, older team, and they knew how to move the ball. They knew how to set him up, and there was no egos on that roster, and that's why he was able to be successful. Now, he played his ass off, don't get me wrong.
He can shoot it.
Spot. Yeah, he earned the spot. I'm not saying that he's not a good player and deserved to be picked where he was, because he did deserve it. I just thought somebody else, I thought Darius Acuff Jr. fit that more. Now, again, I liked him more than I liked Michael Brown.
Sure.
I don't want nobody with a bad back. So, especially at 19, you got a bad back at 19, I'm out. So, enjoy Brooklyn. So, I just thought that from that position, with what was available, you need to be a little more athletic, and I need to have seen you carry the team and dominate. He didn't carry the team all year. Now, he dominated in the tournament, but throughout the year, he wasn't their best player. That fluctuated. Throughout the year, Acuff was the best player. Throughout the year, bad back Michael Brown was the best player. And so it was just great personality. Kid's going to be great character. But when it comes to on the court, if he's not the starter on opening night, I got questions.
Yeah, I don't. That was the question kind of going around the draft room was like, hey, is this guy even going to start? Like, Chris Dunn's probably pretty good next to, like, we saw it. Like, Chris Dunn was pretty good next to Darius Garland when he was on the team. So,
and Ben Mathurin too.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if he's going to start right away. We're going to end the first segment there. We're going to go on to segment 2 where we talk about the Lakers. because the Lakers, John, let's get into it right now. The Lakers have this interesting kind of window right now where they just signed Austin. Well, we didn't even talk about this. They just signed Austin Reaves, by the way, to a 4-year max deal. And that was right after Trae Young got a basically full max deal. And people are like, well, wait a minute. So you're telling me like everyone hates that Trae Young got a max deal, but everyone's like okay with Austin Reaves getting the max deal because it's just their player? And I'm thinking like, well, honestly, I don't like either of those deals, but at least Trae Young is a multiple-time All-Star, right, John? Like, at least you can convince me that Trae Young has done something in this league in terms of accolades to where, like, yeah, maybe you could throw him that money and kind of trust it. But I know we're going to get to the draft pick, but what did you think of that Austin Reaves move? Because before you say anything, it doesn't affect their ability to get any free agents this offseason, but it will in the next 3 years of the deal.
In comparison to the Young deal, I thought the Trae Young deal was great for Washington. I thought they need to show stability.
I didn't mind it. Yeah, I didn't mind it.
They need to show stability. And by the way, they're not paying. Their entire roster is rookie contracts. Their entire roster is rookie contracts.
They had to pay somebody.
So by the time this 4-year deal is up, these guys will be all ready to get paid. So technically, because the way the CBA works, you got to pay somebody. And they paid him all this money because they needed stability at that position. They needed to look like a serious organization. And I think there were other suitors for Trae Young. There's a lot of talk about Trae Young, but Trae Young is hated in New York for a reason. You talk about somebody who's little but shows up, similar to Jalen Brunson, it's Trae Young. You can't say the same thing about Austin Reaves. And herein lies the problem. By paying Austin Reaves, you handcuff him to Luka for the next 4 years, which in the NBA is the foreseeable future because just things turn around so quickly. So for the next 4 years, it's him and Luka. And if you do that around the league, him and Luka, and you go, okay, who are the best 4 players on the court? He will be the 4th best player, maybe every time. Every time. Because if you start going down the league, competitive teams that actually have a shot at winning a championship, is he better than Jalen Williams? No. Like, is he better than Stephon Castle? I would say no. Is he better than Dylan Harper? I would say no. And this is before we get to the main guy on these teams. So I think that the money that they gave him, they had to give it to him. In my opinion, the deal fits the market. It truly does. So I'm not mad at the deal per se, the amount of money, because that's just the going rate. But to have given it to him without making moves first. Again, I know it doesn't affect their cap, but when you look at this deal, it kind of shows you the roadmap of where they're going. Because who you getting that can compete and can help for $20 million? Remember, you just gave him 41. He's not all NBA.
And it's rising. Remember it's said about the Trae Young thing? Like it's
going to go up.
Oh my gosh.
Austin Reaves is he's not first, second, or third team all NBA. He's not first, second, third team all defense. So you're giving a guy pretty much max money to score 18 to 22 points a game? And that's literally it. That's literally it. And so I like the Lakers draft pick far more than I like that signing.
I love their draft pick. And this is the thing. This is the thing about, and we'll get into that next, but the thing about the Austin Reaves deal is, like you said at the beginning, you are now committing, John, to this backcourt to win a championship. I mean, I don't think they're going to trade Austin Reaves, but you're now committing to Luka and Austin Reaves as being your backcourt to go win a title, and I don't believe in it. I don't believe in that backcourt to go win a championship. So listen, they're going to get their regular season wins. They're going to get their 20-plus points per game and maybe all-star appearances. But I don't see this tandem in the backcourt winning a title with the way they play defense. I just don't.
I just think that if you're going to build this team around Luka, this is not the 1A, 1B guy you want. It's just not.
And it's not a knock on AR. I think both of us know, like, he can score.
and let's be very clear about this, because again, similar to what I said about the Clippers' number 5 pick, I'm going to say this about Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves is a good NBA basketball player. Yes. This is not because I don't like Austin Reaves. This has nothing to do with whether I like him or not. I'm making this distinction on, can the Lakers win a championship with him being their second best player, because financially, that's where he's now slotted. Mm-hmm. There will be no player come on the roster and make more money than him. So now you have to make a distinction on whether this guy can help you win a title. The answer is, from what I see, is no. The audition for Austin Reaves was against Oklahoma City. Bron gave you everything he had in the tank. Austin Reaves fell so short in that series, it blew holes like Swiss cheese into the idea that he could be the number 2 guy going forward. And I just think that if you're a Laker fan, again, I'm not saying he's not good, because he's a good NBA basketball player. He deserves that money. But if you're giving him that money with the idea of he's going to be the second best player on a championship team, I really need to see the rest of that team.
Exactly. And I think, John, the point here is Austin Reaves a $40 million? You look at the $40 million guys in this league. Like, you look at SGA is making less, actually. SGA is making less money than Austin Reaves. Now, his max contract extension.
That's when the deal was signed.
Right. So he's going to make more. But I'm saying, like, Josh Tariff always bring this up. He's like, he's a double Josh Hart, or he's a triple Josh Hart. Like, and those are title winning players. Now, I'm not saying like you should have went and gave Josh Hart a $40 million deal, but I'm saying, like, if the Lakers are truly trying to put the best team around Luka Doncic out there, John,
this was a mistake.
And I said, like, that cap hold is not going to hit this year. Like, they can go spend as much money in the offseason as they did before this deal right now, because this cap hold, it's only like $20 million. So it doesn't even really affect that much. Like, of course it does affect them, but it's not as much as we think. It's not like $40 million's coming off their cap now. It's,
if you're building out this roster, you need more guys like you drafted last night. Mm-hmm. That's what you need. You need athletic guys who can play defense and can shoot the 3. That's what you need to go along with Luka. Another guy dribbling the ball who's not a catch and shoot guy. You just don't need another one of those. You don't. Look at the blueprint of what the Mavericks did when they went to the finals. That's how you should be building the team around Luka.
I completely agree. And you mentioned the draft pick. I want to get into that now because this draft pick's good. The Lakers drafted Cameron Carr out of Baylor. And John, there's a lot of times in this draft where a team will trade up and it's like, oh, why did you do that? You could have just taken him here. This is one of the times that I actually agreed with the Lakers trading with New York. One spot. I know it's one spot. But Cameron Carr, to me, is a fantastic prospect. Like, sure, he's raw. Sure, you can say that his shooting isn't where it needs to be. But like we just said about Austin Reaves and like building a team around Luka Doncic, if you can get a highly athletic guy that flies across the floor at his size, John, on this Lakers team around Luka, it's basically like you have that, like we always go back to this 2024 Mavs team. It's basically like having Derrick Jones Jr. on steroids as a rookie.
Absolutely. For people who are tired of hearing that comparison, that's what you need. Mm-hmm. That's the mirror image of what you have to create to get the most out of Luka. Because if he doesn't have the ball, he's just gonna stand there. His usage rate is through the roof. So if you're gonna have him on the court with someone, that person needs to be a catch and shoot, dead eye, or someone who can pick and roll and crash the boards. And on the other end, all the other 4 players have to be A1 defensive players. They have to be. They literally have to be. And Carr is the first addition in that, because what the Lakers lacked last year was the athleticism. Marcus Smart not going to do it. No. We talked about Reeves not being able to do it.
And Rui's like his size, but like, come on, man.
Vando was hurt most of the year. Rui doesn't have that level of athleticism, even though he is athletic. So they just didn't have the guys to compete at that level of athleticism night in, night out. This kid will be the most athletic person on the court in the NBA. So that's high regards by itself. I just thought that the Lakers hit it with this pick. I'm excited to see what J.J. Redick can do with them. I'm excited to see J.J. Redick's coaching staff with this new ownership and how they develop players. Because I think J.J. Redick is very smart. And I think he's got really good coaches around him. So I'm interested to see in the development of a player like this under J.J. Redick's tutelage. Because I love J.J. Redick's coaching staff. I love his demeanor. I love his straightforward approach to everything. He's got an analytic base to what he does, but it's also rooted in personal experience in the league and in these quote-unquote workouts. So if anybody can help this kid find a three-point stroke, it's J.J. Redick.
Bro, you know how you get a stank face when like you see this guy like go for a dunk when you go across the floor, or when you hear like a bar in a rap song.
Man,
like bro, that's this whole highlight reel that we're watching on the stream right now at Sporting Trib on X. I'm like, whoa, oh, I'm like grabbing my head. I'm like, that's the type of intrigue the Lakers needed, right? Like that's the type of player.
He got what I like to call stand-up energy. Mm-hmm. When you see him about to do something, you stand up.
Yeah.
You stand, whether you in your house, whether you at a bar, whether you at the game, you see him go baseline and it looks clear. Oh, you standing up because somebody about to get dunked on. So that's what the Lakers needed. They needed a massive shot of that in the arm, and you got to take your hat off to them. And I'm the type of person, I don't care where you pick the guy. If that's the guy you believe in, trade up and get him. Do not leave the door open for somebody else to get him, and then you miss out on your guy because you're hoping he lands to you. If you're dead set on that guy in their range where you know you can get him, get to the top of that range and get him. Because whatever it costs you, if you develop that person properly, whatever you gave up won't hurt you.
Do you think this was a product of the new front office at work? Like they showed the draft room and Laker fans are like, whoa, there's a lot more people than there was last year, the year before in that, like scouts or analytics or all that stuff. Do you think that's what it was? Or do you think it's just like, well, it's a no brainer. We got to take this guy.
Well, Kurt Rambis was in there. So
yeah, I was going to say there's still some remnants of the old team. So
there's still some lingerers around there. You going, what is he doing in there still? Yeah. But again, the more eyes you can get on these type of things, the better, especially when you get that late in the draft. This is where guys like Sam Presti excel because they have such a vast amount of people with eyes on certain things. So when you get that late in the draft, you've got to have people who've had eyes on this guy. They can bring him to you. Then you can show him to somebody else. Go, okay, where does he need to improve on? What is he good at now? How does it work with what we currently do? And how can we develop that within our system? That's what all those people in the room should be doing. Why Kurt Rambis is in there, I don't know.
It's a loyalty thing. Like, man, I forgot who I was saying this about, but we were talking about like Jeannie Buss and Steve Ballmer, how they have this like loyalty to people. Yeah, and I feel like that's how the Lakers still are, where it's like, oh well, but he played here, and like he
ain't Magic.
No, he's not Magic. Magic said, "I'm out of here. I don't want to be a part of." Like,
he ain't Big Game James.
And listen, I know James Worthy. After these games, I love listening to James Worthy after these games, John, where they
telling
lose.
Telling the truth.
He's like, there's too much pounding of the basketball on the floor. Like, Cook.
Hey, James Worthy talked like he had one too many drinks, and now he's finna go on TV.
And then he goes and has a cigar on air on Spectrum Sportsnet. All right, we're going to go to segment 2. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. We'll be right back.
It's all coming together. Piles of statistics, pages of box scores, years of wisdom right here if I could just find my pen.
What's up?
Oh, I'm just compiling all the top sports scores, news, and odds so I can make the very best bets.
Oh, me too. And done.
What?
BetOnline.ag, the best online betting site.
BetOnline.ag.
A little easier than what you got going on here.
Thanks. Oh. Huh.
Join today and use promo code BETNOW to receive your 50% welcome bonus at betonline.ag.
All right, welcome back to the Sporting Tribune today here on KIRN 670 AM in Southern California, the Bet in Las Vegas, and the Hawaii Sports Radio Network. I got my guy John Browner with me yet again. John, now there's more picks than just the Lakers and the Clippers. And going through this draft list, I mean, obviously the first 12, we kind of knew how good the first 12 were. Like, those are the guys that were talked about a lot. There weren't really any surprises. Now, your Bulls.
There was one. There was one surprise.
What was the one surprise?
The Mavs.
Oh, the Morez Johnson one?
I didn't like that at all.
You didn't like that?
I didn't like that at all because of what the Mavs already have. You already have Derek Lively. You already have Daniel Gafford around.
But I think one of them's gone.
They have to be because you got
Well, I know, but I think that's why they did
it.
it. I think they're going to trade away like PJ Washington or Gafford and keep Lively.
If that's true, then is this kid better than those two?
But he's a Michigan guy, and they just got a Michigan coach, and I think they forced his hand.
That'll get you fired.
It could.
That'll get you fired.
The first move, and it's like 2 weeks in, and you're like, "Hey, take my guy."
Right, like
kind of crazy.
What? You know, the other two guys are more popular. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Give me this one.
Yeah, because essentially, John, like he had if we're talking about Michigan, he had the pick of like, okay, who's your favorite Michigan player? And they took Morez over Yaxel and Ademara. It's like,
which made no sense to me. So
who would you have went? Like, who would you have drafted?
Yaxel by a mile.
So you're a big Yaxel guy. Okay.
I'm big on him because his versatility. I know Mara's big, but what else are you going to offer me other than being big at the next level? These aren't college kids where you'll probably be the tallest guy on the court, but you won't be the strongest. Mm-hmm. There are ways that they can expose you at the next level. I think Yaxel in Golden State, I think there's certain players where you go, don't let that guy get to that team. And it happened in back-to-back teams. Don't let Yaxel get to Golden State. Don't let Mara get to Oklahoma City. And those two things happen in back-to-back picks, man. So this is why people get fired. This is why guys get fired. You let Axel get into Golden State, already 24-year-old guy, mature, can handle the ball, the National Player of the Year, carried his team to the tournament. I mean, the ankle sprain hurt him, but nevertheless, he was still the leader on the team. The guy can rebound. The guy's a dog. And now you're finna let him get with Draymond, who can show him the ropes. Steph, who's been the franchise face of the Golden State Warriors and the league. There's certain teams where you just go, don't let them get this guy. And it happened on back-to-back picks because the Mavs hired the Michigan head coach, and somehow he likes this kid because he practices hard every day. Cool, bro.
I heard that too. It's like he would light up every practice. It's like
cool. Right.
Listen, I like him, but I don't know.
I do too. I do too. But not that much.
When Burries is there, like Lendeborg, who is essentially ready. Like I'm a big proponent of guys that like can contribute right now. If you're the Mavericks, right, and you're thinking like, okay, we still have veteran guys. It's not like we're fully restarting. They're gonna have Kyrie back. They're gonna have Cooper Flagg. They're gonna have Klay Thompson, but like PJ in theory, Daniel Gafford in theory. I know they'll probably be gone, but like that's a competitive squad that can like
very competitive
get to the playoffs maybe. So yeah, that's the one questionable one. I wanted John though to talk about your Bulls. Your Bulls.
Oh yeah.
Your Bulls, John. In my opinion, probably had the best draft. I'm being dead serious. And I want to hear your thoughts on it.
I love Wilson. I really do. I think having him alongside with Claxton, I think having him alongside with Buzelis, I think having him alongside with Josh Giddey, this team is going to play super, super fast. Mm-hmm. Super fast. Because now, and there's no expectation for this kid to win anything. So he's going to get to make all the mistakes he needs to grow. He's going to get to all the shots he needs to grow. And you can't say that about the first other 5 picks. You can't say that because Keaton's got to play and he's got to score and he's got to be good because you have Kawhi, you have Darius Garland. Memphis, if they keep Ja Morant, you got Ja Morant, you got Zach Edey, you have parts that you should be competitive. The Utah Jazz now have probably one of the most stacked young rosters that no one's talking about. They have an embarrassment of riches in Utah. And in Washington, you got Trae Young, you got AD, you got Alex Sarr, who was the number 1 pick, and now you got Bonzo, who was the number 1 pick. And by the way, AD was the number 1 pick. They got 3 number 1 picks in their front court. 3. So this when you get to the Bulls, whatever we can get for this kid, hey, let's see how high you can fly. We know you can fly. Let's see how high you can fly. I haven't been this excited about the Chicago Bulls since they drafted Derrick Rose. This is as a Bulls fan, to watch what they went through, and this is why I have so much faith or belief that this can happen for the Clippers too, because things got really bad in multiple spots for Chicago, but they were able to turn it around when they all looked around, and Jerry Reinsdorf is the worst owner. The worst. And his son's not good either. But they looked around the room. And went, this ain't working. This ain't working. Even for us, this ain't working. They're throwing. Oh, Chicago's excited.
They're throwing fireworks.
They looked around the room and said, this isn't working. We have to reset. And now Billy Donovan almost threw a monkey wrench in that, but even he was like, yeah, this ain't working. I got to go too. And so they were able to part ways with him. And so now you get a Thiago Splitter in there. You get a good young head coach who just proved his worth in Portland for cheap. And you get a new general manager and a new president of basketball operations, and who looks like they have a plan. They have a process. And so that was a great draft night. I don't know much about the 15th pick, the kid from Texas, because I didn't watch a lot of Texas basketball. But I hear he is versatile, he's athletic, and he can play defense, which that's what the Chicago Bulls need, at any flexibility at every position. And I think they got that. So, and with LaMelo Ball floating around out there.
Oh. Wait, are you insinuating that the Bulls maybe at least be looking at LaMelo Ball?
If in a sneaky way, this would be the thing to me that I would know the Bulls mean business, and they got their business on straight. If they could take Josh Giddey's contract, which was 4 years, $100 million, he signed it last year, and throw a Patrick Williams contract on there and some draft picks for LaMelo, you give them a point guard, you give them a ball handler, and the Chicago Bulls made a trade with Kobe White to Charlotte at the trade deadline, so they were familiar with working with each other. So if the Bulls could get on the phone, and if this is true, I would like to see the packages for him, because I think the Bulls have a package that would be very difficult to beat.
I agree.
So imagine you throw LaMelo in this mix. So now instead of Josh Giddey, it's LaMelo throwing lobs to Wilson. It's LaMelo throwing corner passes to Buzelis, who, by the way, was in the dunk contest. So he can get up too.
He can get up.
So it's an exciting time to be a Bulls fan, and I haven't been able to say that in about 15 years.
Yeah, and they still have cap room. Like people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where they're going to spend it.
Yeah, sure. Like, but the thing is, they have it. If they do feel like there's somebody out there that can contribute, maybe a veteran.
That's a sneaky Norman Powell team.
Oh,
like there are a couple very sneaky teams. Detroit is not sneaky, but Detroit's out there for a guy like Norman Powell. I think Chicago's out there for a guy like Norman Powell. I think quietly, the Lakers may be in the mix for Norman Powell. But yeah, man, I'm very excited about what I saw from the Bulls on draft night. I couldn't have been more excited. I mean, the pick was there. You just take whoever falls to you.
Sure.
You couldn't have gone wrong. I was quietly hoping that Memphis really liked Wilson, so Boozer could have dropped one more pick. But I'm not mad about what happened.
Yeah, I'm really high on Boozer, but John, I was at this Intuit Dome watch party for the 5th pick, and it was pretty evident that everybody knew how good Caleb Wilson was. Like everyone knows. Like everyone was waiting. Like maybe there's a chance that he falls. Everyone, and then I should have recorded this. But because they announced the picks on the big screen, and they announced that the Bulls selected Caleb Wilson, and I panned across the crowd, and I saw so many heads just go like this. Because people know how awesome that Caleb Wilson. I think he's going to be a bona fide star. This kid is awesome. He's box office, and the Bulls needed a player like that.
Yes, they did.
You mentioned LaMelo Ball. let's get into that because this happened late on Wednesday. And listen, John, it's not like, we haven't known about this. Like we knew that LaMelo was being tossed in trade rumors, basically, for his whole career. But at this point, it's kind of more of a real thing, I feel like. So LaMelo Ball is now being actively negotiating. Well, the Hornets have been actively negotiating with multiple teams. And there's a report that it's potentially, they want it to be complete within the next 24 to 48 hours. Like, first of all, I want to ask you, like, did you I didn't expect this to happen in the offseason. And then number two, why? Like, do they need to?
I think that he is, for them, he has become a headache. Whether it be the speeding outside of the arena after the game.
There's too many instances of that.
There's two. He ran somebody over in his Hummer. Like there's so many things dealing with him. Now that they have Knipple, I think they just might be tired of him.
But it's crazy. It came out now. It's just like out of nowhere. It's like after the draft. Oh, by the way,
because this is a rip the Band-Aid off situation. This has to be non-basketball related.
Yes,
it has to be, and it have to have gotten so out of hand that they're saying, "Well, listen, he can't help us no more. He's going to start poisoning the good work that we've actually done." Because I thought the Hornets had turned it around.
I agree with you.
I loved watching them play in the playoffs. I love what I saw from them with Miller and Knipple and Kobe White. Like they now have guys that you want to sit and watch with LaMelo Ball, obviously, as the head of that. But something that we don't know, that LeVar Ball will share with us at some point, I guarantee you, that is gone wrong with them, that they are just like, you know what? The juice ain't worth the squeeze no more. The insurance premium around the stadium when we have a game is too high. We can't do it. So this is a shock. This came as a massive shock to me. But because it's now out there, I can see how maybe they just want to get rid of him, and they don't want this to linger. They want to get it done now. They have a couple teams on the phone, and they're letting this get out now, just in case a third team blows these other two teams away to run up the price to see what the value is for them. I get it. I really do get it, but it's just shocking.
It is shocking to me because I don't know. It's almost like they're just doing it after the draft just because they want to gauge interest. But wouldn't you want to gauge interest before the draft so like teams could have control of these picks that they may send in this? And also, there's rumors like that the Timberwolves are in the lead, that the Raptors are involved. What package are the Timberwolves going to give you that's going to improve your team?
I think this is why they made it public. These are the two. These are teams that probably called them about it. And then they went, we don't really like this. So let's throw this out and let's say we need this done in 48 hours. So once our phones start ringing, we can pull something. See, we can pull something. We can pull something together better than this. Because again, if this was pre-draft, this is something where if I'm the Clippers, I'm on the phone. This is something. If this was pre-draft, if I'm Brooklyn, I'm on the phone. Because there are guards at this point. If I'm Sacramento, I'm definitely on the phone. Because this pick can garner that level of player, and it's worth something getting back in Charlotte to kind of resettle the point guard position with the three guys that were in position to be taken there. So this makes no sense to me. But again, this is the Charlotte Hornets.
It is the Charlotte Hornets, and the thing is, like I said, what package is Minnesota going to give to?
They don't have anything. Neither does Toronto.
But those are the two teams that are out in front that may get a deal done within, obviously, like this report says, within the next 48 hours, which is crazy. It's like they're setting a deadline for no reason. Why?
Because I think that deadline is to let other teams know, hey, this is open for business. Y'all don't know this. Nobody called us. So let's let this get out. So now people know in the next 48 hours, we want to get this done quick. So call us with what you got. I think that's what the timeline is about. They're letting other teams know that we have this asset that's available, but we don't want this to linger out. We don't want this to lean into free agency. We want to get this done now. And I think that's what the timeline's about. again, why he's available, I don't know. And I think that's what would scare most teams.
That's my
why
question.
is he available? Because, again, you got to think about it like this. John Morant is also available. They're not getting calls. And if LaMelo Ball is available, and the only two teams are teams that we can look at and see that there's no package that would really pique our interest if we were the general manager and they called us, this lets you know something's not right with we know what's not right with John Morant, but something's not right with LaMelo Ball and this Charlotte Hornet organization. There's no other explanation.
Is there a possibility of a Ja Morant for LaMelo Ball 1-for-1 swap?
Hey, listen, man.
I don't even know what that accomplishes.
You don't trade a bullet wound for an STD. Okay, a problem's a problem. Okay,
Both problems.
a problem.
I still think Ja Morant's done, though. I don't think he's playing for Memphis anymore.
I
Just
would
look at
never
what
say
they
never
did.
on that. He's too dynamic. And his
But he
game,
doesn't play.
his game fits Booz. He didn't play because he didn't want to play. He was feuding with their organization. These are guys who, again, when they fired the head coach right before the playoffs, I knew they were in for a roll of trouble. They didn't trade Jaren Jackson Jr. for no reason other than cap, I'm guessing. And then they let all these young guys play to tank the season. And then didn't even end up getting anything with the draft pick. So I think that Ja Morant is too box office. I mean, he's too box office. And after a year of being off, they're hoping he comes back healthy. And you can see the Ja Morant that had people's heads turning. So, he's a stand-up guy, too. You see him about to do something, you stand up. And so when you
I
got
thought you
those
meant the
guys,
other thing, like a stand-up guy. I was like, I don't know.
No. Oh, no. He'll stand up in a strip club. He'll stand up in a gun shop. He'll stand up at a gun range. You can't count on him. You can't count. Listen, when your daddy think he on the team too,
I was going to
and
say.
he got to sit courtside. But look at the similarities. LeVar Ball, same thing.
Sure.
Loud, attention getting. John Morant's daddy, for whatever it's worth, thinks he 25 too. And it's just not a good look. It's not a good look, man. And so I think Memphis.
That's
wants
why
to
it just
change.
doesn't fit. Like Memphis is grit and grind, and we're gonna, it's not all these theatrics and showy, and that's why I just don't think he fits anymore. Like when he first got brought up, it's like, oh, I'm gonna prove everyone wrong that they drafted me here, or that they passed on me in college, and I'm gonna turn into this superstar. And now
Started
it's
that
like,
way, didn't it?
yeah, right. And now I just think, look, they made an awesome pick with Boozer. And they have
Fantastic.
Cedric Coward is awesome.
Great player.
Jaylen Wells is great. Edey's, I think, good.
Zach Edey's great. Zach Edey is great.
There you go.
For Boozer. He's great for Boozer because now you got somebody to back you up defensively.
So you have all this seriousness, and then you have John Morant who doesn't play, and when he does play, it's like, he can't shoot anymore.
Here come two guns shooting up everything.
Exactly. So listen, I think we have this batch of like guards. Yeah, Jaden Ivey. I don't even want to talk about Jaden Ivey. You know all about that as a Bulls fan, but you have
Did
him.
you see the post he put up?
Yeah, I did see. He wants to get back in the league, man.
Hey, buddy, I thought you was a pastor now.
So we have this batch of guards that's just crazy. But I want to continue this conversation, John, because
I got a question I want to ask you too.
Okay, yeah.
So now that Jaylen Brown didn't work out in the Milwaukee situation, the loudest chatter right now here is from two places. The Clippers, which I don't see that happening because that pick's gone, and the Trailblazers, which makes perfect sense because they've got the assets back and forth. You got Dame Lillard coming back next year. You got a big in Klingon. And you got Yang coming out. You got Yang behind him. You got Robert Williams, who's probably a free agent, so he's probably going to walk. But you got Jeremy Grant. You got Scoot Henderson. You've got a lot of
I like the team.
You got a lot of pieces to trade for Jaylen Brown. If I was the new owner for the cheap Trailblazers,
but he doesn't want to pay anybody.
But you gotta pay people in the NBA. That's how it works.
I don't think he understands that.
So what do you think Jaylen Brown's fate ultimately will be?
I don't think he's on the Celtics next season. But the thing is, you bring up a great point with the Trailblazers, because I felt like even before all this Giannis saga stuff, that was a perfect fit for maybe even Giannis. Like, I thought Portland was a sneaky Giannis team too.
But Dame was like, "Hey, don't."
Oh yeah, we don't want to run that back. That's something people are forgetting too. Like, Dame's gonna come back, and like I saw him working out at Intuit Dome late in April or maybe like early April, maybe late March. He looked awesome. Like, I think he's gonna come back and look really good. But I don't know. I think Jaylen Brown to the Trailblazers makes a lot of sense. They have picks. I mean, obviously they don't have as much as like a San Antonio or something. People were speculating a San Antonio big splash move for one of these guys, but you're going to have to part with one of your young pieces, and I don't think they should do that right now.
If I were...
like De'Aaron Fox...
it's like the Celtics not doing. The Celtics not taking that.
They're not doing that.
Now, but you would have to for salary reasons.
Right.
He would have to be in the deal. So if you came to me and you told me, I'll give you Jaylen Brown for De'Aaron Fox's contract and in 10-man heart and Stephon Castle, me personally, I would have to think about that. Because again, I think we forget Jaylen Brown was damn near MVP this year.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown's an NBA champion and a Finals MVP. And I think we forget about that. I think the reputation for what Jaylen Brown is kind of hurting his actual ability or his perception of him around the league. Mm-hmm. So this whatever he's doing on Twitch has turned so many owners and front offices off that you're forgetting this guy is what you hope Stephen Castle becomes. Mm-hmm. And if you can get that guy right now with the way it Wemby is, and again, Jaylen Brown's a young guy, so he got 5 or 6 years left. You don't know what Stephon Castle is going to turn into that. We know what Jaylen Brown is. So if the Spurs were to do that and they were to move De'Aaron Fox and Castle for Jaylen Brown, you have a fight on your hands when it comes to OKC and San Antonio now, for real. Because now Jaylen Brown will look at SGA and go, "Oh, that ass is mine. Let's go."
I have a title too. I got a Finals MVP too. I've been there, done that too. I know we have a few minutes left here, and this is like something that I've been thinking about since the Spurs lost. And I know we're kind of getting off track here, but I just wanted to bring this question up. Do you think the Spurs get back to the Finals next year?
No.
I don't either.
No.
I think too many people were like, "Oh, it's a dynasty. Like, they're going to win 5 titles." And I was one of them. I was like, "Oh my God, we're screwed."
But we made the same mistake with Oklahoma City. Just like I got charged up.
Exactly.
When I saw them get Mara, I went, "Oh, they're going back to the championship." Because again, with Jalen Williams' injury, J-Dub's injury pretty much softened it up for San Antonio to beat them.
I agree.
Next time around, if you have SGA healthy
and AJ Mitchell,
you got J-Dub and AJ Mitchell healthy, and you throw into that Diamara, who's now can defend with the addition of Chet sneaking behind, throwing club punches at Wemby. Now you got a chance. Now this looks different. I think OKC again. There's certain players you don't want players to land on in the draft. To go back to our first segment, and that is the guy who I went before the first pick happened. If they get that kid, they're right back where they deserve to be, because Mara can defend without the antics. Hartenstein had needed the antics to defend. If you don't need the antics to defend, and you get a shot blocker, Mara's a shot blocker, and he's got real good passing touch. So, I'm excited about OKC, and I can't say I couldn't have said that last year.
I think OKC is going to have a chip on their shoulder. As crazy as that sounds, with how good they are and what their seeding was, I think they're going to have a chip on their shoulder and be like, "Oh, so you guys think Wemby's taking over now? Nah, we loaded up too." And I think that's scary because I feel like the entire league knew that Diamara was going to OKC. Everybody was like, "Don't let him," and they still did, because your guys at Dallas took.
Do we got another segment? Because I want to do a rest in peace.
We'll do a post show. Okay. We're gonna end the radio segment there for now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here on the radio portion. We're gonna do a quick post show here on the Sporting Tribune today with John Brown or Grant Mona. You guys take care. All right, John, the floor is yours.
Rest in peace to Darius Acuff Jr.
What? What do you mean? It's a perfect spot for him. He said he loves the weather.
Grand opening, grand closing, my dog. I'm sorry. Listen,
I was going to ask you about Acuff because that's your guy, and he went to the worst possible spot.
that's my guy. No, that's my guy. And let me tell you how heartbroken I was when he got past Brooklyn. I shed a tear for him, dog. Listen, let me explain to you the King's curse. Tyrese Halliburton leaves, goes to Indiana, one torn Achilles away from winning the NBA championship. De'Aaron Fox gets dismissed from Sacramento, finds himself in San Antonio, blows the NBA championship. Mike Brown fired in one of the most hilarious ways you've ever seen a professional coach fired. He wins the NBA championship. You know who they fired to hire Mike Brown? Mike Malone. What did Mike Malone famously do? Win an NBA championship.
What a title.
So, R.I.P. to Darius Acuff Jr., because I like you, brother, but you ain't that good. Okay? This is a Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, Michael Jordan level lift. You ain't got that in you, big fella. Yeah, you as Patrick Ewing once said, that ain't your game. You don't work on that.
You work on that shot.
You work on that shot. Where? Like, this is a mountain moving level of player. Again, I love Darius Acuff Jr. He's not a mountain mover. That player does not exist in this draft. Only a guy like Wemby could do something what it needs to be done in Sacramento. I felt so bad for him, man. I really did. He could tell y'all his daddy played for Sacramento and he likes the weather there. That's a lie if I ever heard one. Nobody likes the weather in Sacramento, dog.
What's wrong with it? It's better than I don't know where is he from. I don't even know where he's from, but he said it's better than wherever it's the first time in good weather that I've ever had. That's what Keaton Wagler said too. He's like, I'm from the Midwest. I'm finally going to be in some good weather.
Let me tell you something right now. It is dog hot as in Arkansas as it is in Sacramento.
I was up there for 2 years. I went to UOP. So get it.
Bro, I used to date a woman up there, boy. It's dog hot up there. Okay? I'm talking about big German Shepherd dog hot. Great
Central Valley hot.
Just like prison hot. Like make big rocks into little rocks hot. Like it's hot as hell.
What are they? Wah, 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 with the tumbleweed going?
Yeah. Wah, wah, wah. Bro, it's gunfight at sundown hot in Sacramento. No thanks, buddy. He already lying. See, it's already going down, man. R.I.P. to Darius Acuff Jr. I had a lot of hopes for you, big fella. I was hoping you would land in Los Angeles, and when that didn't work out, I was praying you landed in Brooklyn because at least
Brooklyn's kind of a terrible situation too.
But at least they try.
Yeah, I guess.
At least they.
And it's in a big city,
Kings,
so
the owner for the Sacramento Kings is as bad as he's Joe Lacob without the championships.
Wait, you think Joe Lacob's that bad of an owner?
Joe Lacob is a moron. Did you not catch him?
I saw that.
So, first of all, Joe Lacob, your son is the assistant general manager, which basically means you got a snitch in the room at all times. If my eyes serve me correctly, and I'm getting up there, but I ain't that far up there. That was his son telling Mike Dunleavy Jr., just put the pick in. I'll talk to him. Put the pick in. As daddy is stomping around the room like a petulant child about the pick. Like, bro, you pay these guys to do the job. Look how uncomfortable the rest of that room is. Either they're looking down, they're looking the other way, or they're on their phone. This is the part of the draft where you go and you clap for the kid you about to draft.
Yeah.
Did you notice they never cut back to the Golden State room after the draft?
They didn't.
Once they made that pick, they never cut back to the room because there was turmoil in there. The Golden State Warriors behind the scenes are dysfunctional. And because they can't mess up prospects, why do you think Steve Kerr was so itching to walk away from that?
Yeah, it's crazy he came back. I didn't even think he was coming back.
Why do you think Bob Myers left that job?
Because it's hell.
Like when people walk away from easy money, you got to question the money. Okay, Steve Kerr about to walk away from Steph Curry.
Shoot, Jordan Poole did, but he tried to get away from Draymond Green.
He got
Clay
knocked
did.
into DC.
Clay did.
Clay Thompson said, "I'm not taking less." No, Joe Lacob. Now y'all got to pay me, dog. My money good around here just as much as Draymond.
He should be more valuable than Draymond, in my opinion.
Y'all got some nerve. If it wasn't for me, anybody could have done what Draymond done. Nobody could have done what I done as Clay Thompson. Y'all tripping. So, bro, what I saw in that draft room just made me go, oh, hell no. Now people can see it.
And it's crazy because they made a good pick.
They made the best.
That's why I'm like,
possible.
why are you guys so upset?
So what did he want? Like what could he have? The card was like, oh, y'all got a minute to turn this card in. What the hell you needed? What the hell you trying to talk about now?
As soon as their name went on the clock, John, I would have been like, it's Yaxel, call it in.
Pass it. Give it in. Go. Go, hurry up before he walk over here.
Like, bro. Also, your theory about not a theory, but your thought about the Miami Heat trade package over to Milwaukee. So Milwaukee had 10 and 13, and they got Braden Burries, and they got Nate Ament. Do you like those guys? Because I've seen some people saying like, don't really like the fit there. Like Ament's kind of like a wild card, and then Burries, they have too many guards anyways. Like Rollins is there, and Kevin Porter Jr., and
Tyler Hero.
Oh shoot, that's right, Tyler Hero too, and Hawkins.
I would say this. I think that, and I said this before on a couple of platforms. I'll say this here again. I think the Bucks will finish with a better record in the regular season than Miami.
Whoa!
I know that sounds insane. I know it does. Look at Miami's roster, and unlike what happened with Austin, after what happened with Austin Reaves, they only have $18 million, not for a player, for every player left on their roster.
So Norm's probably not coming back.
There ain't no if. Norman Powell was an all-star. Do you know what that means? And I said this too. I think Norman Powell's better than Austin Reaves. So if Austin Reaves got $41 million, you really think Norman Powell for to hold that contract up to every team and go, I was an all-star. This guy wasn't.
Do you know why? Do you know why he's not on the Clippers anymore? Because he and his representation went to the Clippers and said, I want 3 for $120. And the Clippers said, nah, not right now. And they were like, okay, then trade me. They're saying to give me somewhere that will sign me. And now Miami's in the same situation where they're like, none left. Sorry.
So now you know what he's looking for. You know he's looking for $40 million. You know that. So therefore, that Miami thing is dead on arrival. DOA. He ain't taking no 1 year prove it deal. Y'all drunk.
Oh hell no.
This man is out here trying to get paid, okay? This idea that the Miami Heat, now they're going to be able to find and scrap and get all, because the Miami Heat way, Heat culture, but the Heat culture don't go past the paycheck, dog. So
and in this one they have Norman Powell.
That's what I'm saying. People keep putting this up. X Norman Powell out. I saw. I think it was Zach Lowe said Andrew Wiggins might opt out. I said, boy, you stupid.
He's not opting out, man.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins ain't get that kind of money
anytime, John, that I see player like Austin Reaves' contract where it says 49 or whatever, like 49.1 million player option, I'm like, pencil it in. He's gonna take the $49 million.
I think Trae Young's 4th year option is $60 million. He signed that option already.
It's like the Zach LaVine thing right now where it's like he's up for a player option. He's taking the player option.
Cash that because he's garbage. Cash that check.
It's like when Russell Westbrook had it with the Lakers and people were like, well, maybe he wants to go somewhere else and be like happy on another team. He was like, and then he posted that video of him on social media like, now I do what I want. Like, what a legend.
I'm going to be sad with this money. All right.
Wiping his face with the dollar bills.
I'm going to be sad sitting on all this cash. Y'all crazy. I'm going to make it hell for them. They ain't going to make it hell for me. Y'all don't know who I am.
Yeah, so like I'm just thinking like, John, so did Giannis go to a worse team?
I think
why would you want that?
I think two things happened. I think Pat Riley has has an outdated way of thinking of how to build teams. He does not have an analytic approach to building a roster. And on top of that, they gave up way too much. If Jaylen Brown and 2 first-round picks, and they didn't want to put Hugo Gonzalez in the deal, which, whatever, go fuck yourself. This idea that now Miami gave away pretty much everything. And what they have left, the coach doesn't like. Jovic is a good player to me.
I agree.
They won't put him in. They played in the play-in game. He didn't even play. So now you got Bam and Giannis, who basically do the same thing, and they occupy the same position on the court. Neither of the two are three-point shooters, and both of them, for what they do, kind of need the ball to be successful. For Bam to reach his highest level, it was kind of like what the team looked like this year. Just a bunch of parts around him, and that got you to the play-in. Giannis, last year, with the same roster pretty much, got you to the play-in until he got hurt and he couldn't play no more. So I don't think that the Miami Heat are going to be able to turn this around in a year. I just don't. Because if Norman Powell, if you can't find the money to bring Norman Powell back, then now you've lost a 3-point shooting, 20-point game and average guy, and that's the guy who would have made them a playoff contender. Mm-hmm. With just Giannis and Bam, who's afraid of that? I would treat this like high school girls basketball. Everybody on defense, stand in the paint. Stand in the paint. Make them make threes.
I think, defensively, I kind of see it. Bam and Giannis are an intriguing defensive duo. But I'm looking, John, I don't know how many times.
You're talking about Giannis from 5 years ago.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's going to play 60 games. Over the past 2 years, he hasn't even been healthy. That's why I was like, Clippers, no. You have the 5th pick, no.
People keep talking about this defensive effort from Giannis. When have you seen him play defense in the last 5 years? No one has. Because the lower body injuries that he has, the first thing you lose in a lower body injury is defense. Because it requires lateral movement and heart. Mm-hmm. He got plenty of heart. He don't got no lateral movement at all. And by the way, you got to sub him out 6 minutes into the game. Because he plays so hard. He's in great shape. He'll fit the Miami Heat culture perfectly.
I agree.
He's in great shape. He plays hard. He's a professional, unless you need to get on an airplane. Outside of that, he's a professional. So I like the player. I like Giannis as a person. But that mix, that is not a good look. It's just not a good look.
I think if he would have went to Boston, it would have been the best team he's ever been on in his career.
If he would have gone
with
to
the
Boston,
championship team.
If he would have gone to Boston, that would have been instant championship to me.
Him Tatum, Pritchard, with that bench that they have, with
that front office that knows that. You talk about somebody who modern day knows how to get players. And what they got on that roster? Shooting. Mm-hmm. Shooting everywhere. They got guys who don't play who can shoot. And now you got him down in Miami, standing next to Bam Adebayo, and y'all got to get 15 offensive rebounds to score. It just I didn't like it.
And that's why I'm just wondering, I don't think this was Giannis's decision. I know the reports have been out there.
Yes, it was.
I want to go to Miami. I want to go to Boston. Those are my only two. But if you're a smart person and you're looking at both of the rosters and what they were giving up, you're going to tell me that they never crossed the packages to Giannis and said, this is what we're being offered. You don't think they did that? You think the front office was just like, oh, no, we're going. You gave us the two choices, and we're going to make the decision of where you go.
That right there.
That's right there. Because this team is not as good as Boston in any way. They're not as good as New York in any way. They're not as good I'll even throw Cleveland in there right now.
I'll give you one better. They ain't better than the Wizards right now.
And they're not better than the Pacers, who are going to be better too.
Coming back. They're not better than Orlando.
That's 7 teams we've said?
Because if you asking me right now,
come on,
between Paolo Banchero and Giannis, that's neck and neck now. That's neck and neck to me. Paolo can make threes. Paolo can make free throws.
And he's been relatively healthy. I wouldn't say fully healthy, but he's younger.
So as I saw that trade go down, I went, okay, because when they said it wasn't Jaylen Brown, I went, okay, well, what they give up? Oh God, that team's gonna be awful. Who's left?
Yeah.
And that's what happens when the Celtics Bucks version of that trade, both teams win. You get one guy in his prime You get one guy who's an unstoppable force when he is healthy. With Jason Tatum, one of the smoothest players in the game we've seen since healthy Paul George. So that works. Great front office, great organization in Boston.
Didn't have to give up a lot.
Didn't have to give up a lot. And in Milwaukee, you get Jaylen Brown, who gets to have his own team, and he gets to try to do the Jalen Brunson in Milwaukee. It works for everybody. But apparently, the Jimmy Haslam, the famous Browns owner who got Deshaun Watson that contract,
and traded Myles Garrett.
I also thought it was a good idea to not trade for Jaylen Brown. So they're screwed, man. They're screwed. But I like their draft picks, and I like their pieces because now this team is going to be free-flowing. When you remove a guy like Giannis from the locker room, the weight and the negative energy, the stories that are coming out about his behavior.
There's some tough ones, John.
The stories that are coming out about this man's behavior within that organization with Doc Rivers as the head coach are unacceptable from a professional athlete. They're just unacceptable. The idea that, I'll tell you one, that this man was 3 hours late for a team flight.
Yes. And Miles Turner's not just spewing bullshit.
Miles Turner wouldn't lie about that. For Miles Turner to feel comfortable enough to say that lets you know how bad the other stuff he was doing was.
Yeah.
Like if he's not going to be 3 hours late for a flight in Miami, they will leave him. And I think that's where the structure of Pat Riley, that's where the structure of Eric Spoelstra, that's where the structure of Mickey Arison, this comes in now. And I think that may be good for him, but he had gotten away with way too much in Milwaukee. For Doc Rivers to lose his manhood and his leadership on that team by letting this man be 3 hours late for a flight is crazy.
I mean, I'm not surprised the way Doc Rivers coaches basketball teams. That's how it happens.
Doc Rivers ain't been the same since Mbutu, okay, for the Boston Celtics. He ain't been the same since KG, dog. He ain't. He just ain't.
Big Baby Davis.
Once these guys get a taste of, veteran leadership where they don't really have to do anything, oh, man, they can't. Like, that's what Steve Kerr's drunk off of it right now. That's why he was trying to quit.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he won't play these young players. Steve Kerr got that Doc Rivers line of cocaine where the best player takes care of the locker room in Draymond Green. He's a vocal leader. Steph Curry is the face of the franchise. He takes care of everything else, and everybody loves you. In Boston, KG was the dog, and Paul Pierce was the lovable soul that everybody got along with. And Doc Rivers just rode that. He just rode that, man.
They had everything in place for him to be successful.
Because when he came to the Clippers, it was too much work. Their practices were atrocious. Their practices were atrocious.
They barely practiced.
This is what I'm saying. Ty Lue ran most of the practices. And when he was in Milwaukee, Darvin Ham ran most of the practices. And you saw how he coached for the Lakers.
Sam Cassell. Was he with Sam Cassell in Philly? I say he was with somebody in Philly.
Yes, in Philly, yeah. Sam Cassell was with. Yeah. So it's just, look, man. I don't really know what's next for him. I know he ain't going. I don't know if I won't know more of that.
Nobody should give him a coaching job.
But after Giannis was able to behave like that, I think he needs a culture shock as well too. And I think Miami will provide that. The only problem is I just don't see them winning because it's going to take an actual team now to make it out of the East. Because if you think about it like this, the Knicks won a championship. They're bringing back pretty much everybody but Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
They're probably Jose Alvarado. That depends on how much he'll take, but he'll probably take less because he wants to stay in New York. The Celtics, whatever they look like, they will still be healthy. They'll probably be better than Miami. Orlando is young, new coach. They'll probably be better than Miami. I think the Washington Wizards will be better than Miami.
I agree.
I think Indiana will be better than Miami. And so there's a litany of teams now. Toronto will be scrappers. There's a long list of teams now that you have to look at and you got to be prepared for. And Miami's not on the list. It depends on what happens with LaMelo Ball. Charlotte will be fun to watch.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't. The NBA got interesting. The NBA is good for an offseason. I'll tell you that much.
Oh man, I can't even wait till free agency opens. Then we have summer league, and then we have trades that are going to happen. So the draft is basically just like the start of the offseason.
It's a warm up.
Yeah, it's the warm up because
It's like the soap opera theme song.
once free agency starts and those deals start happening, you're like, oh shit, this guy went here. I can't even keep up. That's when it gets good. And then you have rumors about this guy. He's talking to this guy. They went out to dinner here, and the draft is like, okay, yeah. And essentially, this is a cookie cutter draft. Like everybody went to where they should be.
You knew the lottery was pretty much called out with the exception of Johnson's pick in Dallas. Yeah. And that got altered because Dusty May became their coach 2 days before the draft. So, but everything else went along the lines you thought. You didn't want the Warriors to get Axel. You didn't want the Thunder to get Mara. That happened because you could call it. The first 4 picks were going to be what they were going to be. You knew who the next 3 players were. You just didn't know in which order they would be going in.
Right.
Maybe the next 4 because a lot of people like Keaton Fleming too. Mm-hmm. So I would say you knew the next 4, and that gets you to 9, and that's where the curveball came in at.
I'm very excited for the NBA offseason. And listen, MLB's in full swing right now. The NFL, we're waiting on training camp. We finally have the dates for that. But the NBA offseason, it's unlike any other.
Lit.
The NFL,
always lit.
The NFL offseason is pretty good, but NBA's just
And by the way, on the way out, we don't even know what they're going to do with Bron. We didn't even talk about Bron.
LeBron, I think it's the Lakers, but the Miami Heat, John?
Again, you got to pay him. Bron ain't playing for $18 million. If they pay Bron $18 million, they got to pay you and me what's less than the league minimum. They're gonna have to pay us actual minimum wage. No, they're gonna have to pay us. They're gonna have to pay us walking around McDonald's minimum wage. Okay, if they pay LeBron $18 million, you and me literally will make the team.
I'm in. I can.
Listen, the flights alone, I'm in.
I can give the Heat 5 cool minutes of solid, scrappy defense.
Man, listen, I got 6 fouls for whoever got a contract.
Exactly. You want me to go hit somebody? You'll pay my fine. I got you.
Done.
All right, John. We are going to end the stream here. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. We had 3,500 people. We started late. We had 3,500 live viewers tonight. So, John, you are the man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back in the next one with plenty more to talk about. See you soon.